Working in a hotel seems simple enough. Clean rooms, friendly service, happy guests, but behind every front desk sits a weary employee who has witnessed the complete collapse of human logic. These are not ordinary complaints about stained sheets or cold coffee. These are the complaints that make you question if some guest checked their common sense at the door along with their luggage. Today, we're counting down 29 of the most absurdly ridiculous hotel complaints ever recorded. Each one is a masterclass in unreasonable expectations. Welcome to the unofficial rulebook of hotel insanity. Rule number 1. A guest at a beachfront resort in California demanded an immediate room change because the sunset was happening on the wrong side of the building. She had specifically requested an ocean view, which she got, but was furious that the sun set over the water instead of rising over it. She accused the hotel of false advertising and suggested they should have built the property facing the other direction. Apparently, the hotel was expected to have consulted with the Earth's rotation before choosing its architectural orientation. Rule number 2. A businessman staying at a 5-star hotel in Manhattan called the front desk at 2 a.m. to complain that his pillow was too quiet. When the confused night manager asked him to elaborate, he explained that his pillow at home made a gentle rustling sound when he moved, and this silent hotel pillow was unsettling him. He demanded they find him a noisier pillow immediately, or he would leave a devastating review. The concept of high-quality, noise-free bedding was apparently a personal attack on his sleeping habits. Rule number 3. A woman checking out of a luxury resort in Hawaii furiously demanded a refund because the beach sand was, in her words, too sandy. She claimed the texture was rougher than she had anticipated and had ruined her entire beach experience. When the manager pointed out that sand is, by definition, sandy, she responded that the hotel website photos made it look smoother and more powder-like. She was essentially suing nature for failing to match her Instagram expectations. Rule number 4. A guest called housekeeping to complain that his room was too clean. He claimed the overwhelming scent of fresh linen and cleaning products was giving him anxiety, and he preferred a more lived-in, natural smell. He asked if they could please not clean his room so thoroughly next time, or perhaps leave some dust behind for authenticity. The housekeeping staff stood there wondering if they had just been criticized for doing their job too well. Rule number 5. At a historic hotel in New Orleans, a couple complained that the antique furniture in their room looked too old. They wanted history without the inconvenience of things actually looking historical. Rule number 6. A guest at a mountain lodge in Colorado called reception to report that the altitude was unacceptable. He complained of slight breathlessness and demanded the hotel do something about the thin air. When the manager explained that oxygen levels at 9,000 feet were beyond the hotel's control, the guest suggested they should at least provide complimentary oxygen tanks or warn guests more aggressively that mountains are in fact high up. Rule number 7. A woman filed a formal complaint because the hotel swimming pool was too wet. She claimed she wanted to relax by the pool, not in it, and the excessive splashing from other guests had dampened her poolside reading experience. Her proposed solution was for the hotel to enforce a no-splashing policy or create a separate dry pool area for guests who wanted the aesthetic without the moisture. Rule number 8. A guest demanded compensation because his room number was unlucky. He had been assigned room 413, and upon seeing the number, he refused to enter. He claimed the hotel should have known that some cultures consider certain numbers bad luck and should have automatically assigned him a luckier room. The fact that he never mentioned this superstition during booking was apparently the hotel's oversight, not his. Rule number 9. At a desert resort in Arizona, a guest complained that it was too hot outside. He had booked a July vacation in the middle of the Sonoran Desert and was outraged that temperatures exceeded 100 degrees. He accused the hotel of not adequately warning him about the climate and demanded a partial refund for what he called unlivable outdoor conditions. Apparently, deserts being hot was breaking news to him. Rule number 10. A couple on their anniversary complained that the rose petals scattered on their bed were the wrong shade of red. They had expected a deep crimson, but the petals were more of a coral pink. The wife declared the entire romantic gesture ruined and demanded fresh petals in the correct color within the hour. The hotel florist was left scrambling through their inventory, trying to match the exact Pantone shade of this woman's romantic expectations. Rule number 11. A guest called the front desk to complain that the clock in his room was ticking too loudly. It wasn't that the clock was broken or malfunctioning, it was simply doing what clocks do. He claimed the rhythmic ticking was psychologically torturous and demanded either a silent clock or a full room change. When offered a digital clock as a replacement, he complained that the glowing numbers were too bright. Some people simply cannot be pleased. A woman at a countryside bed and breakfast complained that the roosters outside were crowing too early in the morning. She demanded that the hotel speak to the farmer next door and arrange for the roosters to delay their crowing until at least 9 a.m. The manager had the impossible task of explaining that roosters do not operate on negotiated schedules and that this was, in fact, how the countryside worked. Rule number 13. A guest left a scathing review because the hotel elevator music was too relaxing. He claimed the soft jazz made him feel drowsy during his morning commute to the lobby, and he needed something more energizing to start his day. He suggested the hotel switch to upbeat pop music, or at least offer a choice of elevator playlists. The concept of elevator music being intentionally calm was apparently a personal offense. Rule number 14. At a lakeside resort in Minnesota, a guest complained that the lake was too natural. He was disturbed by the presence of fish visible in the clear water and the occasional appearance of frogs near the shore. He demanded the hotel do something about the wildlife situation, suggesting perhaps a thorough cleaning of the lake to remove the animals. He was essentially asking the hotel to sanitize nature for his comfort. Rule number 15. A guest called reception to complain that the bathroom mirror was too honest. She claimed the lighting in the bathroom was unflattering and made her look older than she actually was. She demanded the hotel install softer, more forgiving lighting, or provide mirrors with a slight blur effect. Her argument was that a luxury hotel should make guests feel beautiful, not confront them with harsh reality first thing in the morning. Rule number 16. A man staying at a golf resort complained that the golf course was too challenging. He had shot terribly and blamed the course design for his poor performance. He argued that a hospitality business should ensure guests feel successful, and demanded the hotel redesign certain holes to be more beginner-friendly. His lack of skill was apparently an architectural problem, not a personal one. Rule number 7. A family complained that the hotel kids club was too fun. Their children had such an amazing time that they threw tantrums when it was time to leave for family activities. The parents blamed the hotel for making the kids club excessively entertaining and demanded the staff tone down the fun to make transitions easier. Imagine complaining that your children are too happy. Rule number 18. A guest at a ski resort in Vermont complained that the snow was too cold. She had touched a pile of snow outside the lodge and was shocked by its temperature. She demanded the hotel provide heated outdoor pathways and warming stations every few feet to combat what she called dangerously cold precipitation. The concept of snow being frozen water was apparently not covered in her geography education. Rule number 19. A man filed a formal complaint because the hotel hallway was too long. His room was located at the far end of the corridor, and he calculated that he walked an extra 200 steps daily compared to guests in rooms near the elevator. He demanded either a room change or a discount proportional to his additional physical exertion. He was essentially trying to bill the hotel for his own cardio. Rule number 20. A guest complained that the complimentary breakfast fruit was too healthy. She had expected pastries and pancakes but found mostly fresh fruit, yogurt, and granola. She accused the hotel of pushing a wellness agenda without her consent and demanded they add more indulgent options for guests who were, in her words, on vacation from their diets. Rule number 21. At a seaside hotel in Maine, a guest complained that the seagulls were making eye contact with him. He claimed one particular bird had been staring at him aggressively during breakfast and demanded the hotel remove all seagulls from the premises. When informed that controlling wild bird populations was beyond the hotel's capabilities, he suggested hiring a professional falcon to scare them away. Rule number 22. A woman complained that her hotel room walls were too thick. She explained that she liked hearing ambient noise from neighbors to feel less alone, and the soundproofed walls made her room feel like a sensory deprivation chamber. She demanded a room with thinner walls where she could hear signs of human life, which is the exact opposite of what most guests want. Rule number 23. A guest at a tropical resort complained that the palm trees outside his window were swaying too much in the breeze. He claimed the constant movement was distracting and giving him motion sickness just from watching. He demanded the hotel either trim the trees or install some kind of stabilizing system to keep them still. Apparently, nature's gentle movements were a form of visual harassment. Rule number 20. A man complained that the hotel's complimentary newspaper was too depressing. He had read the morning headlines over breakfast and claimed the negative news had ruined his entire day. He demanded the hotel curate a selection of only positive, uplifting news stories or stop providing newspapers altogether. He was essentially asking the hotel to filter reality for his emotional protection. Rule number 25. A guest called to complain that her room was too symmetrical. She claimed the perfectly balanced furniture arrangement was giving her anxiety because it felt too artificial and staged. She demanded housekeeping come and deliberately offset some items to create a more organic, lived-in feel. The hotel had apparently committed the crime of being too aesthetically pleasing. Rule number 26. A couple at a romantic bed and breakfast complained that the atmosphere was too romantic. They claimed the candles, soft music, and heart-shaped decorations were creating uncomfortable expectations between them, and they just wanted to relax without the pressure of ambience. They had booked a romantic getaway specifically designed for couples, and then complained it was too couple-oriented. Rule number 27. A guest demanded a refund because the hotel was too quiet at night. He was used to sleeping with city noise, and found the peaceful silence of the countryside resort unsettling. He complained that he could hear his own thoughts too clearly and demanded the hotel install ambient noise machines in every room, or at least play traffic sounds through the hallway speakers. Rule number 28. A woman complained that the hotel spa was too relaxing. She had booked a massage and found herself falling asleep during the treatment. She demanded a partial refund, arguing that she had paid for an hour of relaxation but had been unconscious for half of it. Her logic was that if she wasn't awake to experience it, she shouldn't have to pay for the full service. Rule number 29. And finally, a guest complained that the hotel staff were too friendly. He claimed their constant smiling and cheerful greetings made him uncomfortable and suspicious of their motives. He demanded they tone down their hospitality and interact with him in a more neutral, businesslike manner. He was staying at a hospitality establishment and complaining about being shown hospitality. And with that, we have reached the peak of human absurdity. And there you have it. 29 rules from the unofficial handbook of hotel guest insanity. These complaints prove that no matter how hard the hospitality industry tries, some guests will find a way to be dissatisfied with literally everything, including the laws of physics, the behavior of wildlife, and the fundamental nature of reality itself. So now we want to hear from you. What is the most ridiculous complaint you have ever witnessed or heard about? Drop your story in the comments below because we know there are more tales of madness out there. If this video made you feel a little more grateful for the patient souls working in hotels everywhere, smash that like button and subscribe for more journeys into the wild world of unreasonable humans.